Welcome along to another Opposition preview, the show that brings you the lowdown on Saints' next opponents this Tuesday. It doesn't get any bigger than this. Saints travel to Swansea, a game most certainly that will decide who stays up, who goes down. So we've managed to track down a Swansea fan. Joining us is Danny from the Swans podcast, the Jackcast. Thanks for coming by, mate. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, mate? Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. I mean, let's start with the weekend's action, with it being sort of so fresh in memory. I mean, Swansea just dropped into the bottom three, thanks to a favour from our neighbours down the road. But was that the tail of the tape? I mean, how would you summarise that performance, that vitality on Saturday?
Oh, God, where do you start? So the first half, we were doing quite well. First half, I think we had the most shots. I think there was one point we had like 5 shots against their 1, you know. We were attacking. We were holding ourselves up okay in defence. I mean, Bournemouth have a couple of pacey strikers. They showed us quite a few times. They gave us a few problems, but nothing too serious. And then I think it was like in the 30th minute, something like that, Alfie Mawson gave away this free kick on the edge of the box. They took it. It deflected off one of our players, went in, 1-0 down. And you kind of think, okay, you know, we're 1-0 down at half time. But we've been doing really well. We've been pushing them, and you kind of think, let's just try and get back into it in the second half. I don't know what our manager, I don't know what Carlos Carvalhal told them at half time, but they came out and they did nothing. It was awful. It was so bad. We ended up, I mean, we played 5 at the back. The setup was terrible. I mean, when you need a win, who plays defensive when you need to win? He played 5 at the back. We had one of our smallest midfielders trying to play the tempo of the game, and we ended up just punting the ball up to our forwards all the time. You've got Andre Ayew and Jordan Ayew, who are far from physical players who can like hold up a ball really well. You know, you want to look at strikers like Benteke or Wilfred Boney for things like that, but Andre Ayew, Jordan Ayew don't do stuff like that. But that's all we were doing, just punting the ball up to them, hoping for something, and that something never came. It was a terrible performance. Especially that second half was one of the worst away performances I think we've had.
And, you know, Carlos Carvalhal, he admitted to the press perhaps shortly after the Bournemouth game, he said there's struggles in front of goal recently. I mean, last 3 or 4 games, you've only scored 1 or 2 goals, you know, losing 1 goal here and there. I mean, the goal difference for Saints is slightly more favourable at the moment, but I guess you must have been an Everton fan for about 97 minutes or so on Saturday night. I mean, how did you feel when Davis knocked in that equaliser?
I was ecstatic. I was really, really happy. But at the same time, we're still below, you know, on points, you know. I mean, on goal difference, sorry. I think I was just ruined from the Bournemouth game, to be honest. I think even if you'd gone on to beat Everton, or if Everton had gone on to beat you, I still would have felt completely deflated because of that Bournemouth performance. I think it was almost like, it's such a Swansea thing, I guess, but it's almost like we're dependent now on the results of people around us, because it's almost like we can't do it ourselves. But yeah, when Tom Davis put that in, you did kind of feel like, come on, we've got a chance. Come on, we've got a chance. Come on. But it's so hard. It's so hard to feel optimistic at the moment. That's all I can say. But regarding the goals, you're right. We've really struggled to score. Our top scorer in the league is Jordan Ayew with 7 goals. 7 goals. What do you say about that? The last 7 games, we've scored 2 goals. The last 7 games, we've conceded 11. That speaks for itself, really, right?
You know, that there's certainly some reflection on some of our struggles in front of goal this season. Charlie Austin still our top goal scorer, 7 goals. You know, for most of this campaign, we've struggled to put the ball in the back of net and see off games. I mean, Mark Hughes has come in, he's galvanised the squad, he's really got a reaction, and it really looks like we're actually trying to fight for survival.
Yeah. I think you've had the manager bounce at the right time, because when we had Carlos come in around January, the same thing happened to us. You know, the manager bounce was incredible, and it's just now that our form is kind of doing this at the worst time when you're doing this. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I'm totally honest, though, if I had to put my hand in my heart and say it, I think that both of us are going to stay up this year. I think it's actually going to be Huddersfield that go for the drop, because we have a game against you on Tuesday. But our last game is actually against Stoke on Sunday. If we can beat Stoke and Huddersfield can continue being crap and lose the next 3 games, I think they play Man City today, then they play Chelsea, and then they play Arsenal. Arsenal's the only worrying game, but I think if we can get a win against Stoke, and I hate to say it, but I think you guys might do one over on us on Tuesday. But if we can get one against Stoke and Huddersfield continue like that, then I think they might be the ones for the drop.
Yeah, there certainly is a situation that both of us could stay up. I think actually perhaps a win for Saints on Saturday night could have been catastrophic for Swansea. I mean, Huddersfield, their run is awful. They've got to play Manchester City, who are lifting the trophy, Sunday, and you would certainly put yourself favourites to beat Stoke on the final day on a survival Sunday.
Yeah, of course, yeah. The problem is we have this kind of rivalry with Stoke, if you will. Like the Stoke hate us. They really hate us. We hate Stoke just as much. And there is this kind of underlying feeling that maybe it would be nice for them if they could pull us down with them. But I don't know. I'm really crossing my fingers, though, because Joe Allen plays for them. I'm really crossing my fingers that he chucks in a couple of own goals, because he's a Swansea boy, Chuck in a couple of own goals. Help out the club that made you what you are. Do us a favour, I mean, I don't think it's too much to ask, if I'm honest. But no, you're right, though. I think we could do an over on them, because they're done now, right? They're gone. They've got nothing to play for except pride, I guess. But the one thing that we do have going for us, right, and this is the one thing that makes me feel a little bit optimistic about Tuesday and Sunday, is our home form. Our home form is really good. It's the polar opposite of our away form. Our away form, we've already won 2 games all season away. 2 games, that's all we've won all season. But home, especially under Carlos Carvajal, we've done much, much better. Since he came in, I think we've played 8 home games. We've won 4 of them. 2 of those were against Arsenal and Liverpool, and we've drawn 2 and lost 2. So we've only lost 2 of our 8 home games, and those 2 that we lost were against Chelsea and Tottenham. Lost to Tottenham 2-0, lost to Chelsea 1-0, and the Chelsea game we actually looked really good too near the end of it. So that's the one thing I'd say we have going for us, is at home we do really well. My biggest issue is Carlos Carvajal has this reputation for being defensive in big games. For example, when he was managing Sheffield Wednesday and they were in the playoffs, he went defensive. He played 5 at the back, went super defensive, and he did the same again yesterday. And my biggest worry is on Tuesday, when the team sheet is released, there will be 5 defenders. If you see when the Swansea team sheet is released and there's 5 defenders, you can already start celebrating, because it's going to be downhill from there. We don't do well with 5 at the back.
Well, on paper, we've been playing a 5 at the back too, but we've got some good work going forward on the wings. We've got Bertrand and Cedric getting up and down. Redmond actually had an excellent game at Everton at the weekend. And you've really just answered my next question, to be honest. I mean, Carvajal's approach, if he's going to go defensive, but do you think it's going to be an open game? I mean, when he came in, certainly galvanised the team. Has that worn off already?
The thing is, he's always come out now and said we have 3 cup finals, and he was saying that before the Bournemouth game, and now they're saying we've got 2 cup finals, and everybody in the Swansea area is saying now, just shut up, stop talking, and just do it on the pitch. If you've got anything to say, just do it on the pitch. We don't want to hear about cup finals, the 12th man, anything else, because the whole way he's setting up is just it's wrong. We don't have the players to be defensive. Do you know what I mean? Like our midfield, for example, when we play 5 at the back, most times we have Carroll, we have Klukas, and sometimes either Key or King or whoever. These 3 guys would like fall over in a breeze. Do you know what I mean? And you're looking at these 3 guys to kind of like operate the midfield. It just doesn't work. But when we play a 4-3-3, it works magnificently. It's so much better. And Jordan Ayew has a lot more freedom in a 4-3-3, and he's the one that you want to look out for, because he's definitely been one of our best players.
And he came in from West Ham, didn't he? Oh no, Jordan came from Aston Villa earlier in the season, and Andre came in and joined his brother in January. But as we said at the top of the show, it doesn't get any bigger than this. I mean, how much would it mean to you on Tuesday to get 3 points? I would
cry. I would, if we won, I would cry. Definitely. I think I still feel sick to my stomach from yesterday. I really do. And I think if we pulled that off on Tuesday, that would be us safe. I really think that would be us safe. And I would I would really worry for you guys because you have City in your last game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just the worst. That's the worst game you want for the last game of the season, right? If you find yourself in that predicament. But if we win, I've said it for the last 2 weeks. We need one win. And we're fine, I think. So if we beat you, I'll be more than relieved. I think that'll be us safe.
Yeah, but it's truly do or die for both sides. I mean, final thoughts. What are your predictions, dreams for Tuesday night? What do you think the score is going to be, mate?
Oh, Jesus. Okay. It's going to be, like you said, it's going to be a totally open game. It's either going to be, oh, jeez, I can't even predict it. It's going to be 1-0 or 2-1 to either team. But I can't say. It's 1-0 or 2-1 to either team. But it's going to be hell for 90 minutes. It's going to be hell for 90 minutes. I'm going to be positive for a change. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to say 2-1 Swans.
Well, certainly for both fans, all the emotions will be left in the stands on Tuesday night. But big thanks for coming over, Danny.
No problem. Thank you.
No problem at all. And don't forget to go ahead and obviously check out the Jackcast over on Unusual Means, however you consume your podcast. But go ahead and leave your thoughts, dreams, predictions for our trip to the Liberty on Tuesday night.